Hey folks, welcome back to Failure at Retirement. Today we're going to do a quick review on the interior of the 2024 Ford Maverick. Now that I'm kind of getting figured out where stuff is and how things work, I thought I'd do a quick review on this. Let me turn the camera around and we'll get after it. So here we are. I'll start here with the dash. As you can see, I've got 1,634 miles on it, averaging 26.9 right now with the EcoBoost. Yeah, I had it up to a couple days ago. I did some freeway driving, quite a bit of freeway driving, had it up to 27.2. That's been the high point. But also remember, like, I made multiple trips up in the mountains with this, and I really haven't done a ton of freeway driving with it yet. Mostly just driving it for the reason I bought it, tons of short little 2-3 mile trips. Just saving on the emissions on the old Super Duty. Anyway, I like the dash. It's good. Um, the center screen here, I'm going to kind of talk about some of the things I saw people complaining about online. One of them was the center screen and the quality of it. And I'm going to say, like I kind of said before, I think you have to manage your expectations here. If you had a high-end luxury car or even just a higher end Ford that's only a year or two old, yeah, hopefully it did have something better, honestly. Because you got to think this is like one of the cheapest vehicles, if not the cheapest vehicle you can buy from Ford right now. Definitely the cheapest truck. So why would it have their best screen? And this screen, in my opinion, kind of starting to like it better than the Super Duty screen. The Super Duty is a 15, and I think this is probably a better screen. Um, the touchscreen part I think works better, honestly. And then I'll put it in reverse here. I think this is a better picture, honestly. It's, I think, a clearer picture than what the 15 Super Duty has. And just because I do compare it to the Super Duty a lot, because frankly, that's what I know. This thing is less than half the price of a Super Duty in the same trim package. So I would hope, yes, that a new Super Duty has a better screen. But frankly, for this truck, this thing's fine. I don't know why people are complaining about it. So, um, so here's another thing: the controls for the heat and air. Originally, on the first year, definitely on the Lariats. I don't think all the Mavericks had it, but first year Mavericks, they had the temperature right here in the middle on each side for the dual control. They did away with that because of part shortages, supply chain issues, supposedly. And people are actually changing these out. I think putting an Escape one in there or some other Ford vehicle in there fits right in. Has the temperature readout there. I don't really see what the big deal is personally. Temperature readout is right there at the top of the screen. One for each side, one for outside in the middle. Um, I don't see the reason for having both. I was When I originally saw that online, I thought, well, maybe I might have to switch that out. But now that I own it and I see the temperatures right there, 10, 12 inches away, more in your line of sight, I don't see the point of having it down here. Honestly, it seems redundant. The start-stop switch on the Lariat is way down here. Frankly, I wish this was higher and more in my line of sight. I'm getting used to just where it is, but it's down there so low that For a while at first I was looking at it. Honestly, I think I would prefer it if it was maybe here, somewhere up here that's not doing nothing. Just again, because it's a little bit more in my line of sight. Another thing I looked for a long time, right here in the middle, that's the switch to slide the rear window. The Lariat comes with the standard sliding rear window. For a while I was wondering where the switch was because, well, again, not in my line of sight, way down here where I can't see it. Doesn't matter that much to me, honestly. I don't open the rear window a lot. Super Duty has the same thing. It's been open half a dozen times and 100,000 miles, so not a big deal. Um, wireless charging keypad there. Yeah, I guess helpful. Whatever. Mrs. Failure laid her phone there for 30 minutes the other day and said it didn't do much. I don't know if it's because of her case. I don't know. I laid mine there. The phone was warm. I'm confident it was charging. I'm not used to running my battery down the middle of the day. So I don't know. On a long trip, yeah, I think probably pretty helpful. One of the next things here is the rotary shift knob. I'm finding that I'm adapting to this like pretty quickly, honestly. Never had a rotary shift knob before. I've seen people say, well, it's in a bad place, you can bump it and do whatever. I don't seem to be having that trouble. I don't mind it. Like I said, I seem to be adapting to it pretty quickly. Honestly, I'm having less trouble with this than I had with Mrs. Failure's Explorer. We both drove Super Duties for a long time with the column shifter. And when we first got that Explorer, and still to this day I stumble on it from time to time, I'm wanting to grab something on the column to shift it, not grab the stick in the center console. But overall, I'm having way less trouble for whatever reason I can't explain with this rotary knob. Just for some reason has a pretty natural feel to me. So we got 2 cup holders here. That's fine. Would I rather have 4? Yeah, probably. Honestly, you can see there isn't enough room. If I had 4, 2 would be probably full of junk anyway, so 2's fine. Got a couple little cubbies here that are honestly pretty handy. Kind of liking these little cubbies quite a bit. Center console's small, but it's not bad. I'm finding we got a box of Kleenex in there and some napkins and stuff like that, and pretty handy. To me, if they're too big, they just end up holding more stuff to get in your way. So down here we got some buttons. This one here is your drive modes. This one here is your auto start stop. Turn it off. Honestly, I wasn't sure what I would think about the auto start stop. It's not bothering me at all. It starts up so quick. Doesn't bother me. Over here, this is a brake hold button. Turned it on one day to try it out when we had a long train going by. Pretty cool. Once you're stopped, it'll just hold you there. Didn't really think about it again. I just assumed it, like the auto start stop, that it would reset itself when you turned it off. It didn't. Drove around for a couple days with that on, and I was starting to think I wasn't liking the auto start stop because with that brake hold on, the auto start stop stumbles quite a bit more than it does with it off. So I've kind of learned that unless I'm waiting for a long train or something crazy like that, I'm just leaving that dude off. This other one here, quite honestly, I already kind of forgot what that does. Oh, that turns your traction control off. Press the button, look at the dash, that told me what it's doing. So one issue I did have, first time I took this to the car wash, and I know some people say hand wash only, never take it to the car wash. I'm gonna tell you right now, Phil, you ain't got time to be washing no cars. I just started using automatic wash a number of years ago. Haven't had any trouble yet. Yes, I know things can happen. I drive white vehicles. Streaks in a white vehicle, not near as much of a concern, or swirls, from the brushes. Not really a concern like it would be on a black one. One of the reasons why I don't drive black ones. So if you have a black one, I get it. Also, while I'm at it, right here is your park brake, right behind your shift knob. Yeah, I think I like that better than having the thing on the floor. I don't use parking brakes hardly ever, but I'm not a big fan of them being on the floor like they always have been. Kind of dumb. So what do we got here? First of all, we'll go over here on the right of the column. That's your wipers. Um, totally fine. Took me a minute to figure out the intermittent deal there in the middle. I've never had nothing quite like that, but works. So over here, turn signal, of course, and then I think the button on the end, I've never used it. Judging by the picture, I think it turns your lane centering on and off. So about that, this has the lane centering. Tried it. Honestly, not a big fan. I know I'm not doing the right thing. I'm normally driving with one hand, not two. So pretty quick into it, it tells me that I'm not driving with two hands and to get both hands on the wheel. So now I'm holding both hands, 10 and 2 honestly, for no particular reason other than the lane centering. So I personally don't find that helpful. I know some people love it, whatever. The other thing is, the first time I tried it, I was going down 2 lane and I got where it changed over to 4 lane. And when we lost that center line, it chased the line on the left when honestly I was not expecting that. Thank God nobody got anxious and tried to pull out and go around me. So instead of just continuing on straight, when it lost that center line, it chased the left line instead of, it should have probably prioritized on the right. So that was shocking, and thank God nobody was around. So right there, huge red flag on the lane centering right out of the gate. So not really a big fan. Here on the steering wheel, cruise control, lane centering up top, radio up and down, and mute on the bottom. That mute button, not horrible, kind of like in that convenient location. I'm going to make a little joke here. I don't mean to offend anybody. This is just a personal thing. Horns in the middle. I got a lot of trouble finding it. My wife has no problem at all. My wife being part Portuguese, I've told her for years, it's because you're Portuguese, you can automatically find the horn. I'm not. I got no idea where that joker is. Apologize again. Just a funny joke. Kind of, maybe not funny. Anyway, so over here we've got your menu in the center screen, and then your calling, your voice command, and your other phone call buttons. I'm using the voice command to make phone calls. Other than that, I'm not really using them other two buttons. One's to hang up the phone, one's to pick up the phone, answer it, I think. I guess I just really haven't gotten any phone calls, or maybe one or two while I'm driving. That pops up on the center screen over here too. And so far, because I got to think about where these buttons are, I just been hitting the button on the touch screen. So that's been working fine. Super Duty, that's a little bit of a reach, but this one's right here where I can reach it easy. So over here, quite honestly, haven't really touched any of this. Headlight controls, dimming for the dash. Headlight controls were just in automatic. I left it there since I picked it up from the dealer. That other one on the left, I believe, is your cargo light for the back. Hadn't had to use that yet. So overall, liking this thing. Some people are annoyed by this cubby over here. Like, what do you do with it? I don't know. You know, I'm sure if I need to stash something somewhere real quick, that'll work. I've got another one up here. You know, one of my things is just because they're there, I don't have to use them constantly, right? So, but I think they're handy to have. You never know when you're going to throw something in one of these. So here's another thing. So your mirror, it's not auto dimming, it's old school. That's kind of taking some getting used to. I'm not a huge fan of that. Um, I would like that quite a bit if that was auto dimming. But, you know, again, for the price point of the truck, pretty sure I can live with it. Anyway, some people are bothered by the colors here. Shut this off and get out. Colors don't bother me at all. Maybe I'm easy to please. Maybe I don't care. I don't know. You know, I kind of like these little bronze deals, these accents. It's a love-hate thing. You either like them, you don't. They don't bother me. So, apologize about turning around here. Lariat. It's hard to see with the glare. Oh, here we go. Lariat's got electrical seats, electric adjustable seats on the driver's side. A lot like the other Fords. Totally fine. Again, manage your expectations, right? Got a lot of cubbies here in the door. Those are pretty cool. This water bottle thing on the left. Yeah, I have just a regular bottle there now. It stays there. It don't fall out. I have a Yeti that'll fit that. Just haven't had occasion to use it. Don't really pack around a Yeti bottle this time of year. It's winter. It's cool. Typically not packing a cold drink with me, but sometimes a bottle of water. But I like the storage there. It's convenient. So that's working nice. We'll get to the back here real quick. Again, we've got some, you know, pretty decent door storage here. Got kind of a cool little cubby here on the end of the seat, you know, just a little hidey place to put stuff. And I just threw my lock for the Free Sky bike there. So overall, the interior is good. Center armrest here. Let's apologize on the glare. Got a couple more cup holders there. This one has the inverter, so we have AC back here, a regular USB port back here. Got some under seat storage. See if I can get this one-handed. So the under seat storage is small, but as you can see, I got my bike helmet and some gloves in here on the one side, and not even close to filling it up. I mean, again, not to beat the Super Duty thing to death, this seems smaller when you look at it, but you know, the Super Duty one's pretty shallow. It's wider, but pretty shallow. And honestly, I think this will hold just about as much stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. Usually I am. Anyway, let me turn the camera around here again. Anyway, that's the interior review on the 2024 Ford Maverick. I'm totally enjoying it so far. 1,634 miles, I think I said. Going great. Let me show you something else I did here. Hold up. So a couple days ago, installed the BakFlip cover. Pretty good. Took me a little longer to install it, but if you think about it, I think they said you can install it in an hour, 30 minutes or an hour, I don't remember. Well, if you include the 30-minute YouTube install video, that just naturally adds another 30 minutes to that, doesn't it? And then I had a little trouble. Let me show you here. So I had a little trouble with these deals right here in the front. Kind of hard to tell by the YouTube video I was watching. I ended up putting those on the bottom, not really noticing the difference between top and bottom, thinking they went on the bottom. No, they don't. They go on top. So I had to take them back off. And then in the process, first go around, one of the little barrel nuts holds that on, had a burr or something in it, and couldn't tighten it. So I had to find a tap that out. So let's just say my installation time was above average, but I'm really liking the cover. It's pretty convenient. I've never had a cover on any truck I ever used before, any truck I ever owned before, either one. I also made this 2x8 to go across here, and I run it both ways. That little cleat, that keeps a guy's ice chest from sliding back and forth when he's cornering hard in the mountains. Found out first trip out, guy needs that, so made the board, put the little cleat on there, and keeps the ice chest from sliding around. If I want to put something wider, turn it around, put the cleat forward. So that's pretty good. Also got this little cubby here on the side. Guy's got a couple ratchet straps in there, pretty handy place. Over here, get this water bottle out of the way. Over here, got more 110. That little light there, that's more convenient than I thought it would be, if I'm being honest. And I'm say that like from before I even put the cover on it. You know, you'd think that cargo light up above would light things up, and it does, but this just lights them up even a little better. So pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with the locking tailgate. Honestly, why all truck tailgates didn't lock from 20, 30 years ago, I have no clue. That one surprised Mrs. Failure. We were going somewhere last night, and I wanted to put something in the back, and she's like, no, I don't want to put it in the back. I don't want anything to happen to it. I'm like, tailgate locks. So when we're not here, truck's locked, tailgate's locked, nobody's getting in the back. So anyway, pretty happy with the BakFlip cover. So if you guys have any questions, drop a comment. Guy's happy to ask all the questions or answer all the questions he can. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the fun. Thank you for watching Failure at Retirement, and you folks have a good day.